Stitch number 38 on the Pfaff Creative 1.5 sewing machine is a hand look quilt stitch. Now let me just caution you a few things about this stitch. It's a totally made up stitch and it's manipulated. So first off, in the needle I have clear thread, and the reason for it being down here is I actually have it going up and over my vertical spool pin here and then in. A thread stand is what makes clear thread work really well, but it's sitting in front of my machine. Next is you'll notice that the tension is super tight. It is at 8.0. So that means it is dragging the bobbin thread. That's what's making it look like hand stitching, is whatever color you put in the bobbin. So that's why the tension's so tight, so I can drag it up. Now I have seen lots of variations. I've seen different kinds of clear thread work with some machines. Different weights of thread in the bobbin work better than others. You really just have to play with your own fabric. Different battings and thicknesses here have made a difference. So when you get started with this, this is one of those stitches that doesn't just work out of the gate. Like I said, it's a made up stitch, but it is a stitch that's on this machine. So I want to give you the best tips to get the best results. Now, when you start to sew, one thing that you'll notice when you stitch is that there's forward and back stitches, and each time it goes back is when it's dragging that thread up. You also don't usually get stitches in the first couple repeats, and then the bobbin thread starts to come up. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you don't have enough bobbin thread coming up to give you the stitch, let's go ahead and just see what we're getting here. You have the IDT engaged, you got the 0A foot on. You can go ahead and use your needle stopping in the down position and you can pivot around. Actually, it's not looking bad at all for a first time out of the gate. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's be a little closer. So where sometimes you might get not an entire stitch, if you were getting kind of a partial stitch as it's pulling up but not connecting all the way, that's where you go into the settings and take it from 8.0 and go a little higher. Don't be afraid. There's times where I'll go ahead and take it up to the max of, let's see, max is actually 9.8, but go up that whole number we talked about when we talked tension and see if 9 would be a better solution for your setup. Again, remember, every bobbin thread, batting, and clear thread brand can act differently depending on what you're looking for. Now, you are noticing it really does look like you stitched it by hand, so it's worth trying out and getting the right results. Now, if you flip it over, you are going to notice it's one solid stitch on the back with some heavier stitches in between. So yes, if you see it from the back side, they're going to know you didn't do it by hand. But if you're looking for the look of hand stitching with the simplicity and fastness of doing it on machine, you will love stitch number 38.